Hi Graham, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Good, thank you. How excited are you about this season? Your fourth in charge here at Brighton.
Yeah, really excited. Pre-season's gone well, but nothing can replicate the competition, and we've got a fantastic opening match against a very, very tough opponent. So it's a great way to start, a great challenge, so we're all excited for it.
Last season was a record-breaking season from a points and a position point of view. What do you see as being a success this year?
Well, we have to keep improving. That's what we always say year on year. How the team functions, how we play. You always have to take into consideration there's always moving parts, especially when the transfer window's open, and you have to take into consideration that when you're assessing things. But we need to hold two positions always, which is you have to fight to stay in the Premier League, to have as many points as you can to make sure you survive, and then you have to have the ambition to keep pushing on and trying to improve. So that's how we see it.
Marc Cucurella's move to Chelsea has been confirmed in the last hour or so. How do you feel about his departure for a record fee?
Well, I mean, it was one of those situations. We didn't want to sell him, and we didn't need to sell him. But at the same time, you understand that, as I've said before, if a Champions League club comes with Champions League resources and finance, then and the player indicates that there's a desire to do it, it's very difficult for us. Then we have to make sure that we get the right fee. I think the right fee has been got. I mean, it's another situation where then everybody's won in terms of the players got a great opportunity. The selling club have got a good fee, and the buying club have got a good player as well. So win-win-win all around. Marc was a fantastic player for us, great guy. I like him a lot, so I obviously wish him well, and we move forward as a group.
You said win-win for everybody, but has the situation been a distraction in recent days, just hours ahead of the new season?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a distraction, but clearly when something like that's happening, it's not ideal, but that's part of football. It's part of life when the transfer window's open, especially. You have to remember that these guys are human beings. They've got lives, families, so it isn't straightforward. And it's while the window's open, it's part of what you have to deal with.
And you alluded to it before about when clubs come in, Champions League clubs come in for your players. Obviously, Basuma, White, and Cucurella now in the last couple of seasons. Is that frustrating or something that you're happy to accept?
No, I think it's part of the challenge and part of the job at Brighton Hove Albion. I think it's part of our strategy. It's part to allow us to continue to develop. Buying players, I've said before, is the easy part. Selling players the right time for the right price, that's the difficult bit. And the last three windows, I think it's around £150 million worth of player sales we've made, which is no small feat. Something to be proud of from a recruitment perspective, from a development perspective. Credit to the players, because ultimately it's them that play the game and get themselves in that position. So at the same time, our job is to now try to improve. Our job is now to try and go forward, and that's what we're going to do.
In terms of moving forward, Levi Colwill has come in on loan. What do you like about him, and what are your hopes for him this season?
Well, he's a young player with some really nice attributes, huge potential. So he comes into our squad. He adds quality. He had a good loan last year at Huddersfield, and he adds good competition for places. Obviously, we've lost a left-sided defender, so he comes in and adds support in that area.
And with the money coming in from Cucurella and Basuma sales, will you be going back into the transfer market with a slightly different strategy, or will you want to spend a bit more ahead of the window shutting?
Well, no, as I've said before, we try and be a little bit anticipatory rather than reactionary, because clearly you're not in the best of positions if you're doing that. Obviously, with Marc, the situation with Marc's slightly different because of the size of the fee and how quickly it escalated. But we're in a strong position in terms of the squad. We knew about Eves' situation for quite some time, so the likes of Caicedo, McAllister, Mwepu can fill the spaces that Eves played. Obviously, not in the same way, but that's the challenge. Can they bring their own qualities, their own attributes to the role, which I'm sure they can. And then we have to find a solution as a team to keep, like I said, moving forward.
And how is the squad looking from a fitness perspective? Alexis McAllister, there was a slight doubt there. Is Moda the only player definitely out on Sunday? Yeah,
everybody else is okay.
And how have you gone about preparing for a game against Manchester United? Obviously, slightly different proposition to the side you faced in May, potentially.
Well, yeah, they've on the back of a disappointing season from their perspective, even though they're still finishing the top 6. So it shows you the quality that they have still, even in a disappointing season. Changed coach, you can see in pre-season the impact he's made. I think the changes they've made have been positive. So they'll be looking to, it's Manchester United at home to Brighton. They'll be looking to win the game. We understand that. It's going to be tough, like I said at the start of the conversation. It's a great challenge for us. Old Trafford's as tough a place as you can go to. So how you prepare is you try your best to prepare your own team and then get ready for the game.
And finally from me, can I ask you about the disguise you wear when you're out and about in Brighton and home? Is it successful? Do you avoid detection?
It's not necessarily the disguise, I would say. It's more my running style. So somebody, if you watch me running, they can't think that I'm anything to do with a professional football club and how much pain I'm in. So it's not necessarily the cap and the glasses. I think it's just my fitness levels and athletic ability.
Thanks, Graham.
No problem.
Hi, Greg. Good afternoon. Good to see you.
Afternoon.
I would like to start, please, with what's your view in general on players taking the knee this season?
I think it needs discussion. I think we need to have the conversation because clearly just taking a knee doesn't do anything on its own. But I think it's also an important symbol that we can carry on thinking about, okay, how do we solve the big issues, which are equality of opportunity for people and making sure there's not discrimination and social injustice. So I think that's the thing. I'm happy that it's carrying on in its form in a sort of reduced capacity. And like I said, the most important thing is what does it mean and what can we do about it and what's the conversation look like.
And how pleased are you with the recruitment so far? And are you hoping to add any more players in different areas?
No, I'm happy with what we've done. I'm happy with the squad. As I've said before, while the window's open, you never know and you always have to be on your toes. But it's better to be anticipatory rather than reactionary, back to my previous answer. We've got a good squad with some good players, ambitious, mix of old and new. So we're quite comfortable with where we're at.
Erik Ten Hag obviously did really well at Ajax Amsterdam, but that will be his first Premier League game. Could that be an advantage from your end?
I don't think so, no. I think he's a fantastic coach. He's had a great experience and time in Ajax. Did a really good job, really enjoyed his team. So I'm sure he's ready for the next step and he'll be looking forward to the game and it'll be a positive atmosphere, I guess, at Old Trafford. So we have to deal with that and we have to be ready to face that challenge.
And the previous season was very positive for Brighton, but how do you see the vision of the club and progressing even further this season?
Well, it doesn't really change necessarily. I mean, as I've said before, the path isn't necessarily a straight one. There's always a little bit of moving off because of things that happen. You have to constantly adjust, but ultimately we need, as I said before, we need to always remember that we're in the Premier League. We fought very hard and long to get here. It's the hardest competition in the world, so everybody is tough to beat. Everybody is tough to get points against. So we have to make sure that we understand that, and then, like anything, keep developing your own idea, keep developing your game, trying to move forward and have ambition. Try to take every game as it comes and try and win.
Thank you.
The deal for Levi Colwill is quite rare for the club to have a loan in recent seasons. Would you have wanted it to be a permanent deal, or was that something that you actively wanted?
Either way, I don't get too bogged down with that, Johnny. I think it was just a player need that we thought that he would help us with, yeah, it's a bit of a break, like you say, from what we normally do. But again, in these sort of, we don't normally get a world record transfer fee for a player either. So in terms of a left back fee, so it's sometimes you have to react to things that happen that you don't really expect.
Yeah. He's coming in, Shane Duffy's going out. Just talk us a bit about that move.
Well, I think it was. I mean, Shane's been brilliant for us and brilliant with me, and everybody loves him here. But it was a point where I think he needed to play regularly, a bit of a change of scenery. It's a fantastic opportunity for him and for what he's done at the club, for what he's brought to us. I think we owed him that chance and that opportunity to go and explore it and and obviously we wish him well. He'll be missed in terms of the dressing room, and he'll be missed as a guy. And like I said, he's contributed fantastically for this club, but it just felt that it was the right time for him in his moment in his career, and we wish him well.
It was about the balance and the blend of the squad, young and old. How good is it to have Danny Welbeck and Adam Lallana looking sharp at the beginning of the season, and the glimpses that we've seen of them?
Yeah, I think they've had probably the best pre-season that they've had since they've been at the club. Both are in really good shape, bringing their quality to the team, and obviously the quality is undeniable. So it's just about them enjoying the football. They play a really important role in terms of the environment, what we're trying to do as a team and as a club, because like you said before, we've got some young players, some guys that are making steps in the Premier League, and it's important to have some older, wiser heads around just to give some advice and just to set some standards. So they've been really important for us.
Manchester United, they haven't brought in too many players, but one player they have brought in is Eriksen. Really making that move and the qualities that he might be able to bring to them.
Well, he's a top player. You can see the influence he had on Brentford when he came, and the qualities undeniable. Obviously, he's had his issues, which we're delighted that he's come through, and it's great to see him, back playing, because obviously things were not looking so positive at one point. So that's brilliant. From a football perspective, it's nice that he's playing, and he's a great player to have in the Premier League, and I'm sure he'll do well at Manchester United. Hopefully we can delay that good start for a week or so, but he's a top player.
He had some brilliant away performances last season. In terms of this, is it nice to maybe all the pressure to be on them really with this first game in charge, in terms of you going about your business as all?
Well, I think there's always pressure in the Premier League. There's always expectation. You just have to assess it yourself correctly. We want to go there and perform, and we want to go there and compete. We know the size of the challenge, but we're looking forward to it. We're excited for it. We have to do our best and see what happens.
Thank you, Ray.
Sunday, anyone?